Yeah, intentions over everything. That was the motto that I actually started in Virginia with some of my teammates. Like I said, it wasn't athletics related. It was more so just life related. So what was happening is I was making these videos about running, and they weren't doing very well, and they didn't really feel like authentic to me. It was just kind of like, okay, this is a video about running, and I'm doing a workout, and I just didn't really know how to make the videos that connected with an audience. And I thought like the answer, like at that time, I was like, I just need to go back to making videos that I just enjoy making. And at that time, we were in Virginia. It was just me and like five of my friends, and I was like, let's just like make videos, just wandering around Virginia. And whatever we're doing, we were jumping in creeks, we were going to coffee shops, we were still doing runs and workouts and stuff. We were playing putt putt, just like fun, stupid vlogs. So I started making these vlogs, and at that time, like it was like I needed to have more intentionality about the videos I was making and just go back to making more videos that were more fun. I was like, and as I created that motto, I was like, this is something that could be branded like in the future if I wanted to. It could be like intentions over everything. It could be like some sort of brand. I don't know exactly how I'm going to incorporate it. We'll figure that out further down the line. But in my mind, I was like, this is a cool motto, and I want to make something of it. And then that following season, it was kind of rocky for cross country. Cross country's just never been my like thing. I've always tried to be good at it, and I've always wished I was good at it, but I've never been really great at it. I'm just like, it's like I always tried so hard. It's like every time I was just like fighting for my life to do everything I could on the cross country course. But I had a little bit of a rocky season. This would be my junior year in college. And I was like, well, like I guess I need to be more intentional about what I'm doing here as an athlete, and kind of started thinking more about that. And then at the end of that season, I got the flu. And whenever I got the flu, like I had to go race the national championship. We like qualify for nationals and stuff. And so I made it to nationals with the team, and I was like our number 5 maybe, or number 6. And I felt terrible. I had the flu maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior, but I still was not over it. It was like a bad flu. I was just in bed for like 4 or 5 days with a fever and stuff. It was terrible. But I had felt terrible, and I tried to race, and I ran like the worst race of my life. I was almost dead last in nationals. And that's just like a moment that sticks with you. It's kind of like embarrassing. You're like, dang, like I worked so hard all summer training. I worked so hard all season trying to get better. And then I make it to this final race, and I just completely blow up, and I run the worst race of my entire life. You're like, whoa, that something's like not going well. Like, I don't know what this is. And so then at that point, it was like, I need to be more intentional about my habits, and about the habits that I'm practicing in athletics, and the habits that I'm practicing just in my life, and just freaking do insane stuff. So at that point, I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'd go to the cold plunge, and I'd sit like up to my neck for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'd go to practice at 5:45. And it was like crazy stuff that like I would never do now. And I don't even know if I recommend anybody do it now, but it was like, I just needed something hard and challenging to do at that time in my life. It's like, well, we're just going to do some crazy stuff, and we're going to see if we can get better. And that ended up being honestly one of the best seasons of my entire life at that point. And so then going after that season, that was whenever I was going into that following season was going into my senior year, which is whenever I went out to Boulder, and whenever I ran like 100 miles a week. But that was kind of just it morphed from this. The previous summer, it was like this, okay, we need to be more intentional about the videos we're making. We need to enjoy the videos we're making. We need to just have more fun with this. And then it kind of shifted to, okay, let's be more intentional about habits. And then as I started being more intentional about habits, I was like, well, let's start a brand. Let's start a business. Let's see if we can make something here. And that was whenever I created OE Athletics Club, over everything, intentions over everything, a brand that's literally built on the motto of intentions over everything, intentionality in athletics and life and what you're doing, making sure that every action you're taking has a purpose and meaning behind it. And that's whenever I decided, okay, we're going to move into, we're just going to kind of keep trying to grow this brand. We're kind of going to try to make something large, and just make it into something that maybe not even anything large, but just try to make this into something, you know? It's like, it's nothing right now. Let's just learn the ins and outs. And if I fail, at least I know how to kind of start a brand, and I know what it's like to register with the Department of Revenue and get all these certificates and certifications and tax IDs and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. At least I know the ins and outs of like the business world. And for the next business I start, I'll be able to kind of have at least a general understanding. And so far it's been just kind of like, okay, let's just feel our way through this, which has been good for the phase of life that I'm in, where I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not relying on this to make income, and I don't have to figure this out whenever I'm done. Like I said, I got a head start almost is what it feels like. So I don't have to figure this out whenever I get out of college. I don't have to figure out how to start a business and how to dive into the weeds of all this stuff. I can actually just pour into the creativity and put more intentionality into what we're doing with the business as we continue to move forward. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And it's just been, so far it's just been like clothing, like t-shirts, hats. I have coffee mugs too, just because it worked with the Daily Mile. And I was like, oh, this is sick. This is just something I want to make. And I've been working hand in hand with my graphic designer, Jack. Dude, he's a beast. He's got some incredible work, and I can pitch him an idea and he's like, okay, we'll bring it to life. And he brings it to life. And I'm like, Jack, how'd you do this? And it's always so sick. And he's just so good at what he does. And we've continued to just make some incredible things. And we're working on some new things right now. But like I said, tariffs are probably going to have an impact on that. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do this next round. It might just be like sourcing from Los Angeles Apparel, getting stuff from LA and then screen printing it in Jackson, which is not going to be, I wanted it to be more custom. I wanted it to be more thoughtful, more intentional. I wanted it to have more details. I wanted to document the process of bringing a piece of clothing to life, which would be fun on YouTube, and it'd be fun to kind of document those moments as I'm kind of continuing to build, almost like Mint in New York does.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, where it's like, okay, we're creating a piece of clothing. This is how we're going to bring it to life. We're also training. We're also doing, this is what my life's like, except it's in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And it's like the most unconventional place to start a business.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody's like, oh, I need to start a clothing company in Mississippi. And if anybody is, it's like, if somebody in Mississippi says they have a clothing company, it's like, it's going to be the worst clothing company you've ever seen in your entire life.
Absolutely.
Usually.
Yeah.